What is the difference between WAF and ASM? Anyone? Come on.
Application firewall, where it is only looking at layer 7. It is trying to protect all the traffic which is coming from layer 7. And ASM would be application, probably it would be a layer 4, a network firewall. uh, that's that could be the difference.
Okay, one thing from Varun. Thank you. Anybody else? What is the difference between WAF and ASM? Very, very generic question, right? It's not a very technical thing. Please contribute. Yes, Himanshu, you wanted to say something?
Don't know exactly, but yeah, WAF is a general term and ASM is F5 specific.
That's true.
Okay.
Yes, Kadir. You also wanted to add something? No? Okay.
It's the same. WAF and ASM is the same.
Yes, it's the same. That's true. So when we are saying WAF and when we are saying ASM, both things are same. First thing, with a very little difference. That is, ASM is a module, or you can say F5 WAF naming convention is ASM. Is it clear to all of you? So when we are saying WAF, it means web application firewall only. Okay. So both of them, if you will say, will work on layer 7. Okay, Varun? Because you were not present into the old classes, so maybe it is clear for you now. Okay. So either we are saying WAF, either we are saying ASM. Both are the same things. But when we are talking with in regards with F5 application security module, ASM is the WAF with respect to the broader term WAF, if we will use. Okay. Any doubt to anyone into this? No? You can ask if there is. No? Okay. Now, question number 2 from the previous class again. Okay. I told you that one profile is required before applying WAF policy or ASM policy, whatever you say, okay, onto your VS. What is that profile?
HTTPS.
That's true.
HTTP and HTTPS profile.
That's true. So you should be have layer 7 profile, either HTTP or HTTPS, that need to be get applied on your virtual server. Otherwise, it will not show you the security policy. Even I will be gonna show you in the lab. Do not worry. But just to be on the same page, we should have prior knowledge whatever we covered yet. Okay. So far, I think you guys are on same page. Then we talked about something named as LTP. Anyone who wanted to talk about this LTP?
Local traffic policy.
True. And where we use LTP? Is it, or maybe let me ask like that, is it used for FILTM or only for FIS ASM? Where it will get used?
Both LTM and ISM.
Hey, that's great, Kadir. Yes, you are right. So LTP is not for some specific module. It can be used anywhere in your F5, either it is an LTM module or maybe ASM module or whatever module you are talking with. Okay. So far, any doubt to anyone? See, we are not here to complete the course. We are here to, talk regarding this and understand about the course more and more. So I would greatly appreciate if you can, just participate in all of the stuff. Okay. Okay, then this was our last class topics where we discuss about these all stuff. Now let us proceed for today's class. Okay, please mute yourself until you don't have any question or you have some kind of feedback. Okay. So welcome you all to the NetMinion Solutions, where your outcome always matter to us. This side is Radhe Verma, who would be going to you ASM training throughout. Okay, and today is our class 2, where we are starting from the topic LTP, or local traffic policies. We had talked about the local traffic policies before some time, where I was saying you that LTP is not specific to only LTM, but sorry, or ASM, LTM or ASM, but you can use LTP whenever it is required. Sometimes if you are not able to write down your I rules, I hope all of you guys are aware about the I rules. Yeah, anyone is there who is not aware about I rules? Maybe except Rizwan, because Rizwan I am aware about. Anyone else? What about you, Rajiv? You are aware about this I rules terminology?
Yeah, very less, rather, like I'm not into the firewalls yet.
Not an issue. So let me talk about I rule in a very short span of time, and then we will be starting up with LTP. Okay. When we are talking about I rules, before that, let me clear you one thing. Since you guys are from the networking, so if you have a router or the switch or whatever device you are having, these are performing the activity of their domain only. So what I mean to say is, if you have a layer 2 switch that has the capability of layer 2 domain only, okay, but if you wanted to have the layer 3 device, then either you need to brought out the layer 3 switch, or you need to have the router or the router, whatever you say. Okay. Likewise, any device you say, they are into their own domain. But when we talk about, and there is some default behavior of those devices associated with. But when you are talking about F5 devices, okay, when you are creating F5 VIP, okay, although it is an your LTM part, but let me tell you, when you are creating a VIP, this virtual server can be of different types. Like it can be of standard virtual server, it can be your L4 virtual server, it can be your L3 also, and into L4 maybe it can be the TCP based, the UDP based, whatever type. Okay, it means that your F5 products can support till layer 7. Okay, from the lower layers till layer 7, these are supportable. And every device has some kind of default behavior which it happens with, and it always work as per that default behavior. One of the very simple example I am talking about, that when you create a virtual server and there is some, maybe you can say, backend servers, okay, we used to known as them pool members. Okay, I will be showing you in some time in our lab as well, but it's all right. Let us talk about first in the theoretical part, because you should be aware about these things. Okay, it's not only to deploy everything, but you should be know that how these things are working in the background. Now whenever some request is coming, okay, through the cloud or whatever the flow is, we are not talking about that. You are aware that it will hit to the F5 on the virtual server specific to that application, and in return your F5 will distribute the load on one of the backend server or the pool member as per the load balancing algorithm configured onto that particular virtual server or the pool, right? Now we are aware that on one virtual server, how many pools can be there? Anyone? This question is for the LTM people who have worked on the LTM, right?
You can select only one pool.
Yes, that is a default behavior of your F5 unit. Okay, so when we are creating virtual server and we are creating pool. Under that pool, we are creating maybe these 3 virtual servers. So only one pool we can associate with this particular virtual server. That is the default behavior. But let us say your customer is coming up with such a requirement that, okay, when my client is coming with netminion.net hyphen Python, and Python traffic is, let us say, I am giving you a hypothetical situation. So let us say this particular URI is having a very huge load, and I don't want to divert it to on my normal these servers. What I can do is I can create my one of the dedicated server for this particular URI. Okay, and I can say to my F5, buddy, can you apply some kind of, some sort of filtering over here, that if normal traffic is coming, it should be go to these pool also only, which are having again 3 pool members. But when we are talking about this particular URI, this traffic should be going to the another pool and another pool member. Since this is only entertaining your Python slavers, so we cannot put it into the main pool, okay, because main pool is handling a lot of other data also. So we need to create, this is our one pool member, and we need to create a pool. So maybe pool name is Python, okay, whatever name you can give. If you are not aware, do not worry, I would be telling you about this over the physical device also, or sorry, over the lab also. But for the time being, just see these kind of filtering. If you need to alter the main traffic behavior of your device, then you gonna use iRules. And what iRules are? iRules are nothing. This is TCL based. TCL is your tool command line language, okay, or a very short language which is embedded into your F5 module, where you can write down some kind of scripts. Maybe you can say, okay, iRules is bit like or sort of your scripts. By using that script, before traffic going to any of the pool, it will check your iRule first, okay, and as per that script, it will take the decision, and it will see that, okay, if traffic is coming, if every traffic is coming for my normal pool, it should be go like that. But if traffic is coming for this particular stuff, it should be going to this particular buddy or the pool number 2. And by this way, we are having one virtual server but 2 pools. Are you getting my point? So this is your traffic behavior which you are changing. Now, since iRules is bit like your maybe scripting language, you say, so not everyone is very much familiarized or good with iRules. And people used to like they can use LTP also instead of iRules. Not completely, I am saying that I am not completely agreeing that 100% you can remove the iRules for the LTP, but yes, maximum things you can use with LTP. I will be gonna show you about LTP, don't worry. LTP is mostly your GUI based. So far, any question you can ask me.
No.
We are on the same page. Maybe with respect to Rajiv and Rizwan, because you both guys are new to these technologies. Any questions, buddies? No? Okay, I am treating your silence as no. Now let us proceed then. Now, when you need to create LTP, you need to proceed these in some terms. Maybe one, you will be creating an LTP and it will be into the draft mode first. Okay, I will be showing you in the practical also, don't worry, but let us understand first over here. So it will, the first step is you are creating a local traffic policy in the draft mode. Then there need to be applied some kind of rules. Okay, once those rules are applied into it, you need to publish this policy. Once this policy is published, you need to apply this particular policy over the virtual server. Now you can talk about an access list, because you guys are from the networking background. You can able to get the metaphor. This is the metaphor of ACL. You need to create an ACL, give to need to the permit statement and deny statement, all of those statements. Post that, you need to put it on some of the interface, right? Either it is physical or virtual, that is another story, but you need to apply it somewhere. Similarly, you need to create a policy and you need to apply it on virtual server. Okay, any doubts so far? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, okay, perfect. So if there is no doubt, let us quickly check. Maybe let me show you an LTP. Okay. So once you will be double clicking on it, your device will be gonna open. But if you have opened it from a long time, it can show such kind of errors. You need to refresh it then, and then again open it. Okay, it's open now. Let me close this buddy, and maybe let me close this also. Let me press F11 so that it could be maximized, and let me open now so that you should not have the small font problem or something like that. Let me quickly check if I can open my device. Here is my big IP, and admin, if I'm not wrong. No, so it should be admin net minion. Okay, here you go. So this is our box where in the last class I talked to you about this stuff, that yes, when you are deploying this lab, you need to do licensing and provisioning. So what does that mean? Maybe you guys should be aware about that, licensing and provisioning. So in the initial phase, when you boot up this particular device, you need to set up the management IP, bit like your all devices, maybe routers, which is you are aware that we need to set up some kind of management IP. So we set a management IP 10.10.10.51, and all of these steps are already logged into your workbook. I hope everyone has the workbook. Anyone who don't have the workbook? Maybe except Varun. Varun, do you have the workbooks?
I got two PDFs from
Yes,
Zoya
yes.
today.
Those are the workbooks. Yes, true. Those are the workbooks. Okay. Anybody else who don't have the workbook yet? Rizwan, you have that?
Radhe,
Yes,
can
I do
ask
have.
one question. When we start the lab, so all these boxes are not configured. We'll have to set up it from the scratch to provide the self IPs, routing details, everything, and then go and set up the provision and enable it.
That's true. And that is the beauty, that you guys, how you will learn it. You will learn by doing it, right? Even though if you would be have some problem next weekend, okay, or maybe tomorrow, if everyone is on the same page and everyone want me to set up it from the scratch, I will take the control of one of your particular buddy and I will set up this for you. Okay, but before that you need to have the keys ready, so that we should not wait for the keys. And what are the keys? Keys for the new people, let me tell you. When you need to make the license, okay, for the license you need to have some kind of keys from F5, and since we are using it for free, the F5 is providing the trial keys. Okay, so over one email ID, where you need to go, F5 trial keys, something like that. The same URL is mentioned in your workbook. You can check out that. Okay, if you are not able to get it, do not worry, I will be helping you later on also. But since because 2 or 3 are over here who are not aware about F5, so that for them I am repeating it. Okay, so when you are having the keys, the trial keys, one email ID can get up to 3 trial keys. Okay, one trial key will be for 1 month. So it means in one go, the 3 trial keys can be used for 3 months. And for one email ID, you can go for 3 times. So 3 into 3 means for 9 months, you can utilize your one email ID. And if you want more, maybe you can, register with another email ID. Okay, so just have the keys ready, guys. If you have the keys, then what you need to do is, okay, first step is keys, although it was not the part of it, but let me quickly talk about that. Once you have the keys, you need to something named as dossier. You need to create the dossier. Dossier is a file where I would be, talking, maybe I can take a session on this. Okay, if you guys will say me that yes, we want to refresh it, although you are from ASM, but it is a favorite interview question also. So if you will say me that yes, we want to go for this, I can take a session. Okay, then you need to create a dossier. Then you need to download a license from the license server. Fourth, you need to upload it on your device. And fifth, you need to provisioning the resources. Let me show you quickly onto my device how these steps would be gonna happen. And since it is licensed, it is not showing you anything. Otherwise, it will show you that license is required or unlicensed, bit like that, and message will pop up in front of your screen. Okay, those who have the lab access, maybe you can check it right away. But you need to create the connectivity part also. But let me show you. Okay, so let me go to the system. Let me go to the license, and here you go. So you can see that I licensed it on 27th. Okay, and last date is 27th of June. Maybe one of you give me the key, I will relicense my device, okay, in front of you people, and I will show you that how it would be gonna happen. Okay, maybe in next class or during the next weekend. So this is your evaluation. You can see over here. Okay, this is in for trial basis for your 30 days. Okay, and that is the reason how it will be. It is showing you like that. Okay, so that is the licensing part. Once your licensing part is okay, so once your licensing part is okay, you need to provision the device. So provisioning means, licensing means you are licensing the device. Provisioning means you are telling that this particular FI device can have LTM, can have GTM, can have ASM, AVR, APM. So these are your different products of FI family. And you need to tell that which device you need to get provisioned for your F5 device. Since you have the licensing key, which is free, it is giving you couple of, let me go to the resource provisioning and show you guys. Okay, so here you can see there are again some part. Let me cover it. Okay, because it is important. So you can see I have provision LTM. You can see over there nominal, and I have provision ASM also. Rest, either these are disabled or none, means I have not touched them. Okay, so it depends upon your device capability also. What is your, if you wanted to build up on your own PC, you need to give up some kind of RAM. There should be, okay, a good RAM. Okay, so bit like that. Now here also, if you see, there are maybe 3 or 4 parts. Okay, none means you have not used that particular you can say this module. Okay, dedicated means your whole this box is dedicated for only one module. Either it is LTM, either it is ASM, either it is DNS or whatever. Nominal means, okay, I am not minimum means I am just squeezing the minimum resources I am giving to that particular module. But nominal means it is in between your dedicate kind of stuff, and the minimum means you are giving a nominal resources, okay, to your this particular module. So you can see I have used LTM and ASM as nominal. Again, okay, let me ask this question. Who is aware about the licensing and provisioning over here?
I have done it, before we upgrade the devices we have done, and also have set up the F5 from the scratch, APM from the scratch.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Varun. Apart from Varun, who is having this particular, all of these things you are aware about?
I have also done in the past on a couple of machines.
That's good, Himanshu. So 2 persons. What about you, Kedar? Are you aware? And Pradeepa, you?
No, I didn't do.
You haven't done. Okay. What about you, Kedar? Have you done?
I don't know.
Okay, Kader. Sorry, I am really sorry. I just saw it. It's Kader. Okay. So Kader, you also don't know about it. It's all right. So we will be, gonna do it maybe next weekend or maybe tomorrow. However, time tell us. Okay, we will be doing this part in our class. Okay, maybe it will take hardly 30 minutes or 20 to 30 minutes, but I will be showing you guys because majority of you are not aware about it. So this is something known as provisioning. Once you provisioning your box with ASM, then can you see this particular stuff, security? This security box will get appear in your particular machine. And this is all about your ASM. Okay. And we will be talking about all of these features, how we are going to use it, what are the attacks, how ASM is mitigating those kind of risk, those kind of vulnerabilities. We will be talking about these all stuff into our classes. Okay. So far, any doubt to anyone, you can ask me. No? Okay. So maybe let me show you a couple of very, basic things. Okay. And before that, let me tell you also that how these things are provisioned. So if before F5, okay, before F5, if your request is coming to server, it would be a bit like that. But if you will be having two servers, then how you need to do it, maybe through load balancing or something over the router or somewhere, but that would not be a very efficient way. F5 has a lot of stuff which it will be gonna check, like health monitors, or maybe the service availability, you can say it checks, and a lot of other things it will be gonna check, maybe including load. Okay, so we cannot beat that kind of stuff with our routers through our routing policy or playing with some kind of routing. We cannot do that. Okay, we cannot achieve that stuff. Now, when we come to F5, I told you that customer will be coming on virtual server, and then there are a couple of the servers, main servers or the backend servers. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now these servers will be having some kind of IP, like in our case it is 10.10.30.100. okay, one server. You can see over here, I am just giving that reference. Let us say we have 3 servers. It is .101, it is .102. Now these servers need to be binded out in a pool, and these particular servers will be known as pool member. Reason behind pool members, pool members having the server's IP with the service associated with it. Okay, again it is an important question, and with respect to the interview also. So pool members means exact servers with some kind of service. Like in our case, the service is port number 80. I will be gonna show you. This is the server node list. Node list means these are the nodes. Okay, these are the nodes. So into our case, if you will see our diagram, let me show you my diagram first. Then we will be coming back to this. Maybe I need to kill this. Okay. If you check again, we have how many nodes we have, or the how many servers we have. We have only one single server, because we don't want to play with the load balancing mechanism. We don't want to play with some another stuff, but we need to understand about the security, and that is the reason one server will suffice for ourselves. But since if you would be into our LTM class, then there should be a different setup. Okay, but let us leave that. Now you can see the traffic will be coming like that. If the management traffic is coming, it will be going through the management port only. Whereas if you wanted to access this particular website, your traffic will be coming through this port only, and then it will be gonna go on this E.1.1. E.1.1 is your external VLAN. It would be under your external VLAN. So any external stuff will be gonna hit over there, and then there would be a virtual server which you have created for this external VLAN for this particular application, and then on the basis of this application pool, the traffic will be gonna from your internal VLAN and will hit to your application, and similarly your traffic will be back. So what I want to say is that your traffic from the management PC will go to the F5 for accessing this server. Okay, your F5 is full proxy device, which we already talked about in our last classes. Okay, question for you: what is full proxy? Pradeepa, you want to answer? What is full proxy?
That can do reverse and forward proxy.
True. Full proxy is a device which will be treating as the endpoint to your source. So this is your source, endpoint or destination would be your F5, and then it will again act as a source, and destination would be your server. Okay, we have already talked about it. Similarly, over here also we can see that this is the realistic scenario where our F5 machine is treating as the full proxy. Okay, now let us go back to our device and let us talk about the pool members and the pools, and let us set up the lab quickly. Okay, so that we can go into it and we can access it as per our requirement. So this is a node. Okay, the application, you can say application IP is 10.10.30.100. Now this node would be under the pool, and since this node will be associated with some kind of service, it will be known as pool member. So under the pool we will be calling a node, and the node will be have some kind of service. Now if a server is there, this server can have FTP, application hosted, DFTP, okay, maybe SSH kind of stuff, maybe telnet kind of stuff, maybe HTTPS kind of stuff, maybe HTTP kind of stuff. So these kind of service it can host onto itself. We need to be very much specific for a pool what kind of service your node is having, and this maybe you can create 3 pools, right? Like SSH pool for SSL service, sorry, SSH service, then HTTPS pool for HTTPS service, maybe HTTP pool for HTTP kind of stuff. So that is easily you can, you know, understand when once you would be doing the lab by yourself. So this is our node. Let me go to the pools. Pool is empty. That is good. Let me create a pool and let me give some kind of name. Maybe this name is looking good to me, PHP auction pool. And since I need to use it as HTTP, I am using the HTTP health monitor over here that would be checking out either my HTTP services are up or no. You can create a new node also, but I will be selecting the node list. From node list, the node which you created over here will be get appeared. Now, can you see this is asking for the service port? And since it is an HTTP, I am using 80. And then I am clicking on add button, and this will be showing over here. And let me get finished. When I will click on finish, it is showing me nothing or a blue box. So this blue box is appearing and it is showing either the health monitor results are not up, or I am not able to check either the services are up or no. Okay, so it will take some time to check. Once it will check, your status will be green or red. Green means it is working fantastic, or my application is up. Any doubt to anyone so far? No? Okay. So let me repeat again. We have a node. Okay, this is our node 10, 10, 30, 100. Then we create a pool. I gave some name of the pool, and into this pool I have a pool member. Pool member has the same IP with a service associated with it. In our case, it is port 80. Okay, HTTP. Now, this is your virtual server settings. Again, all of these things are not started with the ASM yet. We have not started it, but we are just, providing you the baseline so that everyone should be on the same page. Over the virtual server, let me create a virtual server, and we will be providing out maybe minimum, settings. So, okay, it's not taking the name. Let me write down what happened. Virtual server. Okay, it is showing me virtual server auction maybe. Okay, our auction website. This is the type where I was talking about, right? But leave it as the default, that is standard. Now source address means we don't want to play with the source address. Any source can come, so I am leaving it as empty. Then this is my external VLAN. Let me use port 80, or in the end it should be as 80. I am saying that your IP would be 10, 10, 10, 20, 80. Before configuring that, oh, I opened the calculator. CMD, and let me ping this particular IP 10.10.20.80, and let me put the continuous ping. Okay, so leave it. Let me minimize it. Meanwhile, let us complete this particular stuff. Now this setup, you wanted to go for the port 80 or for HTTPS, you need to do, but because maybe let me put it 4.3, just for the 443 sake. Okay, I wanted to create it for the 443 port, and let me make this IP also change. Control C, and it should be 4.3, and currently you can see it's not reachable. So what I am telling is the virtual server IP is 10.10.10.10.24.3, and it will be listening on 443 port, that is HTTPS. Okay, state is enabled, that is good. Now go down, because you are applying the 443 stuff, you need to apply some kind of certificate. So I don't want to go into those details. I am just putting out my default client SSL profile, which is again just giving some kind of certificate for this particular post. You can say that. Okay. So I just put two settings so far. One is your name, then IP and this particular service port, and then client SSL, just to tell that what kind of certificate you need to entertain with. Now, if you go down, let me go and use the AutoMap. What is AutoMap? That maybe I can tell you. Give me a moment. Let me tell you. Okay, but first let me clear out this. Okay, now here is your default pool, that which pool you need to associate with your virtual server. So I am saying this is my PHP auction pool, which I need to be get associated, and I am making it finished. And you can see that my virtual server is up. And if you see over here into the command prompt, it is now reachable through your window machine. So it means your reachability is okay. And if you want to open it, let me open it up. HTTPS 10.10.10.20.43. You can see that something is opening over here. And what is that something? That is my web server, or that is my backend application. So we created a virtual server. Under the virtual server, there was a pool, and under the pool, there was a pool member. And the pool member is nothing but our hacking website, where we will be gonna attack a lot and see how my security policy will mitigate those attacks. Agenda of this particular stuff is now clear to everyone, I hope. Okay, let us proceed and talk for SNAT, because I was telling you that I am going to tell you about the SNAT also. So for SNAT, if I will be talking about in a very short way, this is your F5, this is your server, this is your client machine. Client machine is 10, 10, 10, 10. F5 virtual server is maybe 10, 10, 20.100. I'm just taking any of the IPs, okay? Do not go to the IP address. 30.100, and the internal self IP would be 10, 10, 30.1. Okay. Now, when the packet will be initiated, the source IP would be this, the destination IP would be this. This is your from client to the F5. But when your F5 will send a packet from F5 to the server, the source IP would be same. Okay, let me complete first. If anyone has any question, you can ask me again. And the destination would be this when SNAT is not enabled. But when SNAT is enabled, the source would be this one. Destination would be again the same. It means it is the replica of your about traffic flow. But when the traffic is coming out from F5 to server, the source would be your self IP. Okay, the maybe you can say whatever the exit port self IP is. Okay, and the destination would be your server. So that is how your packet will be flowing when it is going through SNAT. And since I don't want to enable my routing and all of the stuff over here, so I just wanted to make the changes of the SNAT. Okay, that is the high by overview about the SNAT. So SNAT will resolve some kind of routing problem for the new guys. Maybe you can just understand bit like that. Okay, that it resolves some kind of routing problem and it will not make our packet to be lost somewhere in the cloud or in the in between. Okay, wires. Any question you can ask? No? Perfect. Now let me show you one thing. This is our I rule. Okay, there are a couple of I rules which are created by default. Maybe let me show you one of the I rule of redirect. Okay, which is created by default again. Here you can see that there are some kind of syntax that some event is happening, like when HTTP request is coming, it should be redirected to the HTTPS. This I rule is saying nothing, but it is talking about, again, it is not ASM part, but I am telling you more. Okay, what it is talking about, that if our virtual server is on HTTP only, redirect is to HTTPS. Okay, so that my end-to-end communication should be secured one. Similarly, we have something known as LTP. Can you see these policies under the local traffic? There are policies. Okay. Maybe I have some from my previous batches. Let me remove that.
Rajesh, this is what version? What
13.
version the F5 is running? 13.
13. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So let me go here and show you about the policies. So first of all, when you create the policy, it would be under the draft policies list until or unless you are not publishing it. One thing. Okay. And prior to publishing it, it cannot be applied on your virtual server at all. Okay. Let us create a policy. So it is asking for the policy name. Maybe give any kind of policy name. Okay. What the name? Maybe net minion redirection policy. Okay. I just give any name. Huh? Again, there are some things over here: first rule, best rule, all rule. That's again a separate thing. But let me create the policy that, okay, from the very first packet, it should start working. When I am hitting on the create button, it is showing me apply some kind of rules. because here we are just creating a policy. Now what we need to create the rules. So let us go and hit the create button. Under this, it is asking what is the rule name. Give some kind of rule name. Maybe I'm just, for the simplicity sake, the same policy, I'm just making the rule name is as rule. Here it is saying, okay, can you see this is the pure GUI thing, nothing, any fancy stuff you need to apply over here. It is saying, okay, what would be the condition, what would be the name, what you want to match. So I am saying that, okay, I want to match all of the traffic. What you want to match over here, maybe what you need to apply over here, it should be enabled. Yes, it should be enabled. Now what you need to be done over here, maybe you can see over here that, okay, I want to redirect. Maybe I am just giving any of the example. Okay, redirect to which location? I wanted to redirect to the netminion.net. Okay, at the request time. Yeah, at the request time, if any of the traffic is coming, it should be redirected to the https netminion.net. I'm saving it. And this rule is now showing you over here into the rule ID. Of course, you can create more rules as well under this policy. Now, just I am saying, maybe let me save as the draft, and I will publish from the outside, although I could publish it from there as well. Where the publish option, maybe I need to go again. Okay, save and publish. Let me do it from here.
So this feature is like iRule in GUI.
You can say, yes, you can say what. So can you see this policy is now there under the publish policies, where earlier it was not there, right? And let me show you again. If I am opening 10.10.43, I am just pressing Control F5. It is going to my auction website only. Why? Because I have not applied that LTP anywhere. Now let me go ahead and apply that LTP on my virtual server. I am going to my virtual server, click on the virtual server, going to the resources. Under the resources, there are two stuff. One is iRule, but iRule I am not creating it. Second option is policies. Let me click on manage, and you can see that the same policy which I created before some time is appearing over there. Let me drag this policy and enable it and make it finished. Oh, yes, I wanted to show you this stuff also. You should be having the HTTP or HTTPS particular stuff. Okay, let me have the HTTP profile first. This is known as profile dependency. It was showing that, okay, you should be having the HTTP profile. So I am just applying HTTP and updating it. Okay, I will remove the HTTP profile again because I wanted to show in the security, during the security stuff also. I'm sorry. I click on iRule. So you go to the policies, just bring it over here, click on the finished. And now this is showing that it is over there. Let me press Control F5. Huh? Control F5. Are you able to see?
It's redirected.
Yeah. Why? Because we created some kind of policies over there.
Yep.
And even if you wanted to check out this, because as an ASM manager, you should be having that kind of stuff. You need to go to the more tools. And can you see this developer tools? Click on this developer tool. We will be going to talk about this developer tool later on. So, but let me just open it currently 10.10.2043, and let me show you. Oh, this should be HTTPS, right? Yes, it is HTTPS or no? HTTPS. Okay, and it is redirecting right to the netminion.net. And let me show you. Let it get loaded first, because it is showing us that what kind of background process is going on. But let me drag it somewhere over here and click on this. Can you see this status code? What is 302 means?
Redirection.
We talked about those, right? Status codes last time. Yeah. So it is redirected. Redirected to what? So original it was this, and now it is getting redirected to the https netminion.net, and it is due to your LTP. So any doubt to anyone so far? We are getting lagging behind of our time, but it's all right. You are learning, enjoying it or no?
I'm enjoying it.
Good, good, good. So let me remove it. Finish.
Oh,
Go ahead, go ahead.
Ravindra, one question. If I want to apply something like that IP/ABC, and then it should be redirected to this, something like content switching. Is it possible with this
There
also?
there is lot. You can just click on create, and you keep on checking that LTP.
Okay.
So if you go over there, go over here, maybe just see more rules if you wanted to talk about. Okay, there would be you need to go into the draft mode first. Okay, make it into the draft if you wanted to make the change over here. Then maybe you need to create some another rules. Then if you wanted to click like that instead of all traffic, can you see this?
Header. Okay.
Yeah,
Right. Now I got it.
URI and a lot of stuff is there. Yeah, so
Okay.
you can just play with it. A lot of things are there already.
Okay.
Okay, Kader, Himanshu, Pardeepa, Rajiv.
Back.
Okay,
Yeah, hi.
okay, good. And who is left then? Himanshu, you are there? And Rizwan? Rizwan,
Yes, I'm back.
let us start that. Okay. So we were talking about what? We were talking about LTP, right? Okay. So LTP we have removed now. Yes, we removed. Okay, question for you. For LTP, although we have checked it, but again, for LTP, which profile is must?
HTTP.
HTTP.
Yes. So we have seen that it has the profile dependency, and we need to apply HTTP profile for applying as LTP. Okay, and that is the reason. Let me show you. Let me go to my security policies. Okay. I have some security policy or no? Let me check. I don't have any security policy. Okay. Although I would be talking about these stuff in a very big detail later on, but let me click security policy quickly and give some kind of name. Any name? No. Policy and one, maybe any name I am giving. It is saying that, okay, what kind of, I am not gonna talk about these policy template and all of the stuff. Can you see? It is not showing me any of the virtual server. It is just showing me none, or it is saying configure a new virtual server. The reason behind is because I removed that HTTP profile from our virtual server. So what I can do is, if I will go to my HTTP profile, put out the HTTP profile over here and just update it. And if I will go back again to my security, application security, let me create the policy again, maybe again, policy 1. And I'm not touching any of the other feature. We will be talking about that later on. But if I will see my virtual server list, are you guys able to see this particular stuff? That my existing virtual server is now visible to me. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Now, if I say that, okay, create the policy, this policy will be get associated with our virtual server. Okay, let me show you.
Ravinder, one quick question. Can one policy be attached to more than one virtual server?
One policy, yes.
Okay.
Same policy, two servers, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Now, if you are going to the virtual server and going under the security, the same security policy which you created before some time, you can able to see is there now. Okay. And apart from it, one local traffic policy will get created by its own. Can you see this? It is get created by its own. This name will be the common name and this name would be your virtual server name. Okay. So these LTPs will get created by its own. If we open this LTP, this is the name of this LTP. Now you guys are aware about this is the name and there is one rule, right? Let us check under the rule section what this rule is talking about. If you click on this rule, again, this is my policy name, this is my rule name, this is saying matching all traffic. I am enabling ASM. What is the policy? This is the policy. When it should be get applied? At the request time. Which says any of the traffic will be checked by your security policy. Making sense? Is it okay, guys? Getting this point?
Yes.
Okay. Perfectly fine. Okay, then.